Business owners and creative minds, do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
You're listening to JoCo Community Radio.
Good morning, Jobfather Nation. We are so excited to be here, and we actually have a really, really good show for y'all today. Not that every show isn't great, every show is, but this is even more exciting, and we'll get into that in a minute. But just a reminder that we're honored to be part of NTX Radio and partner with Tiffany Hurd. NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world on TuneIn Radio and the NTX Radio app on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. I can't say it out loud or it will interrupt what we're trying to do here. Check out our lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We truly thank our valued partners for helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Well, let's go ahead, Foster, bow our head for a quick
Let's
word
do
of
it.
prayer, quickly knock out our
Okay.
updates so that we can discuss what we have for the first half. Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for the honor and the privilege to serve the job seeker and transitioner community. And Lord, I just ask for grace, for favor, and peace and hope for every person going through the transition. And Lord, I pray that they wouldn't miss bearing and creating fruit of the Spirit during this time. And I pray you would open up the most incredible doors of opportunity for them and open up the storehouse of heaven in terms of provision. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 All right, Foster. Well, what announcements do we have before we move into the exciting first half of our show?
Well, you know what? I want to, well, I've got a good joke to try to make you guys laugh to start this thing off
Absolutely.
right. Okay.
Obviously.
So the other night, Dana and I went out and we got a little tipsy, you know, and
I don't remember,
we
but
got an
okay.
argument.
Maybe
Well,
more than
I
tipsy.
said, hey, I said we got a little tip, maybe a little bit more than so we got an argument. We're getting ready to fight. And Dana drew a line in the sand. Dana said, Foster, if you step across this line, I'm going to knock your butt out. And that was a punchline.
Wow. No. Absolutely not.
No wonder I don't remember any of this.
Exactly.
Everybody out there, morning, Nicole Duncan. Yay. And we got my brother Jim Williams is
Jim.
with us. And Jim's will probably look at me and shake his head and go,
Oh,
Foster,
man.
that one ain't
Plus, I would
getting
have
it.
my money
That
on
was
Dana.
Get it.
Yeah. Only because I have brass knuckles.
So
No,
yeah,
I'm
we
just
do
kidding.
have an exciting show today. We've got Andrea Rust with us
Hey,
today.
Andrea.
She is a professional learning expert, and we're going to be talking on the second half of the show. We're going to be talking to
So
her
excited.
and hearing all about Andi. Andi's kind of excited.
Yeah.
She's real tall and stuff. You guys, maybe I'll hire her to dunk a basketball. I don't know.
Dunk it.
But
Dunk it.
dunk it.
That's awesome.
So, y'all, we're gonna be talking about interviewing, and Dana and Maz are gonna start us off, and we're gonna try to. It's gonna be funny. I hope that we're gonna be interviewing Maz. What should we do in an interview? What should we not do in an interview? All that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So, Dana, ask Maz the first question. We're interviewing her. Let's figure out whether we're gonna hire Maz.
Absolutely. We're really excited. Our goal for this is to provide a a good answer. Well, to provide a poorly responded and communicated answer, and then to provide an example of a
Maz is good at
fabulous
that.
answer that utilizes the STAR format: situation, task, action, result. So we're going to start out with a bad response and then move into, okay, if I re-ask this question, I'm going to re-ask it. And then Mez is going to provide a strong answer using the STAR format, as I mentioned. And this is just to help us dialogue and also get a live example of what could make or break a situation with a little sense of humor. So,
Absolutely.
Mez, it is a pleasure to meet you. We appreciate you visiting us regarding our project management role, focusing on some of our IT projects. I'd like to start out by asking you to share with us a challenging situation that you dealt with at work and how you handled it.
Well, Dana, honestly, this is a time filler for me right now. I'm not really too interested in the job. I just want to keep my options open. But to your question, I had a really tough day once at work, and when everything went wrong. I'm talking about everything went wrong, right? You just have one of those days when your boss is being kind of a jerk. And then I just powered through it, and I hoped the day would just get better and everybody would just leave me alone. Like, please just leave me alone. And then I think everybody has bad days like that, right? So I got through the day, I went home, and I didn't answer emails for like 2 days after that.
Ooh.
That's what not to do,
Okay.
people.
Yeah. So
You guys would be surprised what
Yes.
kind of answers we get in
yeah.
these
Mhm.
interviews. You really
And if I
would.
had to point anything out that I'd want to highlight is first of all, we never want to talk negative about previous employers. W-
Oh, that's a
Yep,
killer.
whether we're truly interested in the role or not, we don't need to convey any negativity during the interview, and we don't want to convey any dysfunction either. So, so
Yeah,
Well, I
let's
really
that's
talk
don't wanna
about
true.
yeah. Let's go ahead exactly. So now
Oh.
let's go ahead
Okay.
and I'm going to quickly ask the question again and let's
Mhm.
listen to a little bit, well, actually, a much better,
I
stronger,
think
articulated version.
Jim Williams hit you.
I don't think
Yeah.
it get much much worse than that,
Yeah.
so
Oh, it's
Yep.
yeah.
pretty
Short of
bad.
cussing or making threats. So,
I was tempted, but
Oh
I'm not
God,
doing
y'all,
that,
please
yeah.
don't cuss.
yeah. So,
Go ahead.
yeah. So, Mez, tell us about a time when you dealt with a challenging situation at work and how you handled it and drove
Well,
resolution.
Dana and Foster, it is such a pleasure to be here today. I am super excited to have this opportunity to talk to you guys about the
Mm-hmm.
company and get your feedback as well. But a situation that can
Hmm.
always seems to
Mm-hmm.
come first to mind is I was previously a senior engineer and we were falling behind in our commitment to our stakeholders. So I needed to handle
Oh.
the surge of complaints, maintain customer satisfaction, and of course, deliver our product on time or as quickly as possible. I quickly collaborated with the subcontractors and the other stakeholders and gave real time updates and created a temporary frequently asked questions response, like a group chat, if that makes sense, on on a secure
Yeah.
network.
Mhm.
So nothing was leaked accidentally. Everything was IT safe and friendly. We built better from that. We got the product out on time and we built better relationships with subcontractors and actually moved up a timeline for another project. So it was stressful at the time, but we were able to collaborate and make better relationships.
Wow,
Okay.
that is a much better
Thank you,
answer.
everybody.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, Jim Jim
and the
Williams
great
really wants to hire you now.
yeah, and for our listeners, the star
Yes.
format, let me just repeat that one more time. When you're
Yeah.
answering, you quickly give a direct response, don't beat around the bush to the situation. You stay positive, you discuss the task that took place, the action that you used to support turning the task and the
Yes.
situation around, and then the result from
Absolutely.
all of it. Star, situation, task, action, result. And if you
Mm-hmm.
focus on that, it will help guide your answer and keep you from being long winded, beating around the bush,
And I
and
talk, people.
negative.
Thank
Mez,
you.
that was
I
great.
talk, like,
Yeah,
ask Dana and Foster, like, we can't get me to shut up
I do
half the
too.
time.
Oh
So this
God.
really does
Yeah,
You got all three of us together and it makes a
it
radio
does,
show. Oh
yeah.
my God.
it does. We're
Absolutely.
entertaining, aren't we?
We
Foster,
really
did
are.
you want to read the second
You
question to
know,
Mez? Same
yeah,
thing.
I've got a question to ask Maz, but before I do that, I want to tell job seekers. Now, y'all are gonna roll your eyes in your head when I say this, but you guys, when you go into an interview, y'all turn your phone
Oh,
off,
yes.
Oh
please,
gosh,
Speaking
and
of
yes.
which
then and you will be surprised, guys. Uh, don't answer the phone. And I had a lady
Please
answer her
don't.
phone in an interview and told me to hold them up there and Foster for a minute. Guys, don't do
It
that. Don't answer your phone if it rings. It shouldn't be ringing. You should turn the damn thing off.
it
And
should be
not
off.
on my
anyway,
watch.
before
Exactly.
I ask my question, before I ask my question, Polly Edwards said, "Nice, Maz. That was
Thank
a
you,
nice
thank
answer." And
you.
Polly is as sharp as it comes. And Polly was on the show, and Polly is a hiring manager, so she knows what she's talking
Absolutely.
about. Okay,
Love it.
Maz, tell me about a time. This is a little bit of a behavioral. I'm good about behavioral questions. Tell me about a time where you had to explain a real technical concept to a very non-technical, maybe even a stakeholder or something like that, a non-technical person like that.
Well, honestly, Foster, I try to avoid those type of people that aren't technical. It's really hard sometimes to get the point across, and quite frankly, they can just ask way too many questions, and I just don't have time for that. So, I don't wanna deal with the drama. I normally pass it on to somebody else. I know my strengths, so they better know their strengths and stay in their lane, and honestly, my
Oh
manager
boy.
can handle it. That's what not to say.
Woo! Bye, Felicia. Bye,
Bye.
Bye,
Felicia.
Felicia.
We are not hiring
No,
you.
Jim's gonna hire. Jim will probably hire. Jim,
Oh
what do
my
you think?
gosh. That is so hard to do, guys, because I would never say that in a million years. Sorry, that was hard.
Okay,
Not without a couple
Yeah, well,
margaritas,
how
at
you
least.
doing today?
let's redo it. So let's see what Polly says for the second
Okay.
half of this
Okay.
question. So, Mez, please tell me about a time where you had to explain a real technical concept because you're a technical person, a real technical concept to a non-technical stakeholder.
Well, Foster, thanks for the question. The situation that first comes to my mind is where I had to describe to finance about why we were upgrading a certain software system and had to implement some hardware on top of that. So they didn't want to spend the money. So that was the problem, and I just needed to explain to them very simply, very quickly why we were using these finances. So
Hmm.
I did a quick meeting with them, 15 minutes, that's all it was because everybody was busy trying to get this project pushed through, and I simply described the flow. So, simple boxes, flow chart. I had 1 slide, simple flow chart, and the reason for the cost for each one because that's their language. I wanna know
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
to finance, so I need to make sure I describe it in numbers
Hmm.
and a little bit of the technicality and the benefits. That was the biggest part is to explain the benefit and also to be in compliance. So the result was we pushed through the
Yeah.
project and we got it done.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
Much better.
That reminds me of a pit crew question. Do you guys I've got to mention to you
Pit
guys
crew.
about the pit crew. I want
Love
you
them.
guys to go.
Yeah,
It stands for Practice Interview Team, and it's part of our network. It's a very strong part of our network, guys. And
they're
go to
wonderful.
careerdfw.org. There's a lot of information on careerdfw.org, and it will explain to you what the pit crew is and where they meet and all that. And you know what, guys? You don't have to be in the DFW area to take advantage of the pit crew. It'll explain it all on there and how it's done
Yep.
because we have this thing called Zoom and we have this thing
Mhm.
called Restream that we're
Yep.
using right now. So,
Yep. It's
guys,
great.
we can get it done. This network has got every portion that you need for
For your
resume, for your job search done. So,
Absolutely.
okay, shut up, Foster, and get through us
All
another
right,
question,
let's get
Dana.
to the next
Let's get her.
question. No problem.
See if Jim's still gonna hire her.
Okay. So the second question, same format. We're going to
For the
start
third
with
question
a
for those keeping
poorly
track.
articulated. Oh yeah, whatever. So the first, third,
We'll use
just
that.
kidding. For the third question, we're going to start with a poorly articulated response, and then we will re-ask the question and follow up with a strongly articulated
Sorry.
response using the star format. So, Mez, tell me about a time that you had to work with a difficult team member and how you managed to handle that.
Um, well, I'm not difficult at all. Like I've been the best team player ever. So when I have to come across a difficult team member, I confront them directly normally, or I just try to avoid them. And I just don't want to deal with the drama,
Hmm.
or I just report them immediately to HR and my manager and try to get focused real quick back on my work.
Mhm. So, as everyone could see, that was not a very collaborative, positive response. Let's redo this and let's talk about a star focused response. So, Mez, tell me about a time where you had to work with a difficult team member and how did you manage working with
Well,
them?
one time on a group project, a quality QA manufacturing engineer and I did not necessarily see eye to eye on this particular way we were testing my unit. So it kind of held up the progress of getting my units
Mhm.
out to the customer, and just it was kind of a tense situation. So I needed to ensure everything stayed
Right.
on schedule without causing any undue stress or conflict. I had a one-on-one conversation with this engineer in private, went extremely well, nothing too big, nothing personal, and listened to their concerns because I'm like, what could possibly going on? And after hearing their side of the story and their concerns, it was eye-opening. It was amazing. So we were able to talk to each other and realize, okay, I didn't know that, and he didn't know certain things about what I was going through either for the project. So we collaborated.
Ah.
Mind you, everything, this is all private. Nobody else had to get involved. It was just the two of us, and we were able to not
Mhm.
only deliver the project on time, but we delivered under budget. So
Oh,
I heard y'all also started
no, we did
dating and
not.
got married.
no.
I'm like, no, no, that was
Oh,
not my
you guys,
That
husband.
that was a good
Thanks, babe.
response.
that's a good
And you
response.
know what that showed the hiring leaders is that Mez is calm and level-headed. She's able to handle pressure without getting responsive or negative, and she's able to show empathy and listen to other perspectives. What a great
Also,
response and answer.
I
That was
thank you,
awesome,
Dana. I
Mez.
also want to tell everybody these are actual situations I went through. Like, this is not something I made up.
Mhm.
Mm,
Please do not make up situations because you could tell. You can tell
yeah,
if you're just doing something from
You
AI,
can.
right? Or from
yeah,
a generic YouTube video kind of thing. So these are actual situations I've
yeah.
gone through. I want to point that out.
Well, and that's a really good point that you bring up is be prepared when you're going into an interview to think about these are very basic
Yes.
questions and very, very commonly asked.
Can
Just
be. Yeah.
things about how you handled a tough situation and turned something around, how you dealt with a challenging team member, tight deadlines, which is the next question. Or, there's a lot of different, to be honest with you, the technical questions should be a lot easier because you're in the weeds doing
Right.
those day in and day out. It's the behavioral questions that we're asking that
Exactly.
really make a difference. All right, Foster,
All
there,
right.
did you want to ask number 3 the tight deadline
You
question?
know what I really like about this, and like about the fact that Mez is with us, because guys, y'all know that Mez is a biochemical engineer. She worked 10 years in oil and gas, and she did what she does now is a pivot, yes, but it's kind of a pivot because I know that what she did when she was in oil and gas encompassed a lot of things that she's doing now as a project manager. So
Mm,
I really like the fact that we're talking to Mez about this kind of thing.
yeah,
Mez,
I do
we
too.
like to
Make me
have a good
blush.
time, but guys, Mez's IQ is way up
Thank
there.
you.
It really
I
is.
appreciate that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mez, describe a time when you had to deal with a scope creep. Now
Mhm.
sometimes people aren't big on the scope of the project or what we're about to do. So you might want to uh, tell us a little bit about what a scope creep is anyway. But what did you do when you had an example to give us an example of time where you had one?
Well, Foster, I had this project. I was super excited about it because my BFF was one of my clients.
Uh,
So, after everything was kind of laid out, requirements were done, whatever, she came up to me. We were having a few girl nights and few drinks, whatever. And she's like, "Hey, listen, this wasn't a part of the
mm-mm.
project, but I really need this to be in this project." And I'm like, "You know what, honey? Don't worry about it. I got this. I know it's not supposed to happen." But I basically went around and made sure the resources knew kind of on the DL that this needed to get done.
Mm.
So it got done. It was late
Ah,
and over budget, though. That's the only setback. That's what
ah.
happens.
Shady.
These are harder than I thought it was gonna be, guys. Like, oh
I
my
know.
god.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was a really good. That was a really good. She was my
That was
BFF.
a
It's
good
like,
bad
This is hard.
that was a good bad answer.
I could never be an actress.
sheesh.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do
Okay.
that one again. So, Maz, give me an example when you had to deal with a scope creep. What did you do? How do you handle these people that
What
don't
the freak is
necessarily
this
agree with
Well,
everything you're
creep?
trying to do, even though it's their stuff?
Foster, thank you. This is a tough one because a lot of times you can have stakeholders that want to add stuff to the project that they don't want to go through the whole CR, which is a change request process, either internally or externally. I had a project where I happened to be really close to one of the stakeholders for our client. So she wanted to add some stuff. I'm like, listen, I completely understand
Mm-hmm.
your need for this, but I'm going to have to put in a change request and we will do it through the proper channels. Otherwise, we're not going to get the right product for you. That's very important to us to make sure we deliver a
Mm,
product for you. And we want to make sure all the stakeholders are aware. And maybe there's a different solution. So even with that dynamic between me and my friend, we were not only able to complete the CR, but we were able to collaborate with other stakeholders through the CR to make sure that everything was covered in compliance and it was a better and faster way to do it. So she really had a great idea,
Ooh.
but if I tried to do it
hmm
behind closed doors or something else, it wouldn't have happened the way it did. Yeah.
That makes
Good.
sense.
I
That
like
was a
that.
very good
Polly,
answer.
Polly said your bad answers are better
Oh,
than the
really,
good ones.
Polly? Really?
That's funny, and that's true. But
Well, so much for the show.
I want I want job seekers to
Ah!
I want job seekers to understand something. As
Polly's
as
Oh,
fired.
we
She's
love
not
and
allowed to
Polly.
respond.
We
Just
love
kidding.
Polly.
part of
Love
Maz's
you,
really
Polly.
good answer was the fact that things can change
Yes.
and things can shift right in the
Yeah.
middle of the scope of the project that
Mm,
you're doing, because you find out new things. You might establish that you got another client that's wanting the
yep.
same thing and they got a different little twist to everybody does something different. Now I'm going to say this: job seekers
Okay.
understand that we recruiters, me and Dana, uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, guys, your hiring managers, you guys will tell us what you want. We'll send you exactly what you tell us you want, and then at the 11th hour, you guys are telling us, "Oh, I forgot to
Yes.
tell you
We
this is
job
what we got to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
We've done
yes.
all this work, and here you guys
Ah, it's
come
so
with this stuff. You
frustrating.
should have told us that in the very beginning." So.
Yep.
You don't want to work with Foster when you're going to do that to me, because then I'm not so nice a guy. And anyway,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I don't think most people are.
We
Well,
we
I
we
think
work
we
through
can
everything. Their
squeeze one
Yeah, we have
more
a couple more
attitudes,
question.
minutes.
and we'll
Yeah.
squeeze another. Let's
Real
let's
quick, we can
squeeze
do
another
this.
question
We
in,
got this.
Dana.
Yep. All right, Mez. I'll go ahead and go forward with
Okay.
the tight deadline question. So, Mez, tell me a little bit about a time that you had a tight deadline and how you managed
Mm,
to complete the task at
Well,
hand.
Dana, honestly, I remember this one time where I had some international stuff, like last minute international, and I just avoided it to last minute. I just didn't want to deal with it. And then I finally got around to it and stayed up all night, barely made it. It was super stressful. I actually got sick because I didn't get enough sleep, but we got some of the job done.
mm.
But we got some of the product out. So it was pretty good. I think it was a pretty good result from
Awesome. Procrastination always wins. Just
it.
kidding.
Yeah, my laundry can tell you otherwise. Like, dear God.
Uh-huh, mine too.
Oh my God!
Soaking,
Yes.
folding, and
I'm
putting
not
my
coming to
laundry
your
away.
house.
Yeehaw! All right. Well, let's talk about a good answer using the
Okay.
STAR format. Mez, tell me about a time where you were up against a tight deadline and how you managed to
Well,
handle
Dana,
that.
I was assigned to this international shipping assignment, which I really didn't have much background before this, but I was able to work with management, work with the compliance and the docs basically, and the freight flight people. Thank God they were absolutely amazing. We have great relationships now, and I was able to start a process because before we didn't have a process in place for international shipments
Mm,
in North Texas. So I was really proud to do that, and we were able to complete the order, have all the custom paperwork filled out. Because honestly, it's hard to hear this, but the compliance people, they want you to know the paperwork. They want you to be able to do it right. They don't want to yell at you. They don't want to have you do it twice. So
that's true.
just individually called each agency. I got friendly. They were friendly back. We got everything squared away, and we were able to deliver the product with no hitches. So I was very proud of that. Yeah.
That's great. Wow, look
Yeah.
at
That's
that.
true too, by the way.
Way to go. See,
Yeah.
I love it. That's great. Really, really impressed. I liked the fact that you were very clear in what, using the STAR method, extremely
Right.
clear on the situation, what task that you were struggling with, but how you went about overcoming that. That is great. And one of my biggest issues when I interview is I get excited and sometimes I
Yes.
over
It's
explain.
tough.
Ms.
Oh, we
Foster,
all
what are your
three of
thoughts
us
on
got
over
that.
explaining?
Oh, we'll
Well,
be
there's
back,
the music.
guys.
We'll come back and we're going to have Andy. Guys, thank you, Maz. This was good. We want to be
Yep, see you
cognizant
on
of
the
what
other
we need
side.
to be doing in interviews now. We'll talk to you guys in a second.
Okay.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Welcome back, Jobfather Nation. What a wonderful first half. A big thank you to Mez for the hard work and prepping everything and ensuring we had some great examples using the STAR method for our listeners. With that being said, we are honored to be a part of NTX Radio, which is a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world. Truly, we are heard globally. We have global listeners. And you can do this by either going to TuneIn Radio or the NTX TuneIn Radio app on Android, Apple CarPlay, or Alexa. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We truly are honored to work with our valued partners who help us amplify the voices of North Texas. And of course, we are always thankful and honored to partner with Tiffany Hurd and glad to be a part of her lineup of shows. If you have any questions or you are looking to make your dream come true of podcast or radio collectives, please reach out to Tiffany Hurd. And I believe it's still the same email address, correct, Foster, that I just listed?
Well, she's got an NTX radio video. And guys, we have expanded since we started the show. And I'm glad that Dana brought up what she did, because some of you guys might have an idea that's been lingering with you for years and years. You know what? You guys might want to call Foster, and I'll connect you with Tiffany, and you might want to have your own radio show. You might want to have your own podcast. There are a lot of people out there like Andy, who we're going to talk to, that have a specialty, that God's blessed them with experience in a
Yeah.
certain area, and they're really good at what they do. Now, I'm going to introduce you guys to Andy, and Andy Rust. She is not Rusty. I can hear it coming now, but she married that dude. But anyway, we guys, Andy's a learning and development specialist, and I've introduced her to wonderful people like Dr. Nancy Wall and think. Dr. Wall, I know you're listening, so I just want to say hi. Hey, Dr. Nancy. And guys, I'm going to say something. And I invited a couple of ed tech companies to listen to the show today, because I wanted them to hear Andy. Now, I'm not trying to pigeonhole Andy into ed tech, but that's a good, I think that's a good application of her background. And I happen to know that she kind of likes ed tech. Andy's a little techie anyway. So, but she is a learning and development specialist. And guys, there's a lot of ways that you can apply that learning and development and that training and all that kind of stuff. So, Andy, tell us a little bit about Andy. Andy, where do you live, by the way? I never did. I never ask our people where they live.
Yeah, so Foster, I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you, first of all, for asking me to be on the show this morning. I live in Greenville, Texas, so east of Dallas.
Okay.
And Foster,
you guys get bad weather out there.
It does. I feel like it rains a lot out here.
It does.
Okay, so you're a jokester, Foster. Before we get started,
yeah, kind of, sort of.
Well, I have a joke for you.
Yay!
I'm a nerdy guy trying to be funny, is what it really is, because I'm really a big.
Well, here's my joke for you before we get started.
Tell me, come on.
Okay, what did the big flower say to the little flower?
Ooh, Dana. Ooh. The big flower say to the little flower. I don't know. Come on with it.
Hi, bud.
That was actually really cute. We might have you write a few more for Foster.
That. I like
I
that.
know.
Let's see what Jim Williams thinks about that.
Okay. Well,
hey, Yolanda Chan, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. And of course, my buddy Gerard Roble is out in Florida. And guys, Eunice, you guys out in California, tell the whole network that remember that May the 2nd is coming up. The LA County Fair is about to start. And so I think it goes through the 25th or 26th. It's around a long time. Y'all go get your tickets. That's fun stuff. And you talking about food? Hey, here in Texas, we're always talking about food, but California's got good food. I've been to the LA County Fair a number of times. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Okay, we're here to talk about Andy Rust. And Andy dropped us a good joke. Jim says Andy is 5 out of 5. You know, you hit pretty good on that one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Jim.
Go, Andy. That's
bud.
great.
I like it.
Yeah. So, Andy, it is so exciting to have you. And we just wanted to find out a little bit more about your background with learning and development. Share with us a little bit on kind of what level within the learning and development space that you are looking for. And if you have any specifics around the industry or type of company that you would be interested in working for.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dana. So a little background about myself. I am a training specialist, professional learning specialist. They kind of interchange, right? I've seen it different ways, but I truly have a passion for delivering engaging learning experiences that truly resonate. My background blends training facilitation, client relationship management, and cross-functional collaboration. The educational, technical or technology space has really been my home. And that's where I would love to land my next role as a training specialist. But I'm obviously excited about using my skill set, my strengths in new spaces where learning and that partnership kind of go hand in hand together. And so my target companies currently are a company called Everway. It's an ed tech company. There's Curapod, which I've been following. Curapod's really big into AI, which I think's super important and coming up.
Now that's kind of exciting.
That's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah, for
The things that
sure.
they're doing to make learning so engaging for students, for teachers, to make their lives easier is incredible. So I'd love to be part of that. Amira Learning, HMH, those are really great companies. And then obviously outside of the ed tech space, you know, corporate areas would be great too. You know, really anything I'm open to. I love healthcare. That's always been something that I wished I had gone into way back when.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a heart for people, a passion for serving. And so anything really just to help others learn new knowledge is what really drives me and makes me want to get up in the morning. So
You know what I like about you, Andy, and guys, in this network, when I was creating this network, I get to float around and see everybody interact with other people. And Andy, my mother was an educator for 40 years. And I'm not saying Andy looked like my mama, but what I'm saying is Andy's personality is set for training and development. So, Andy, I would expect that Andy would be one of those trainers, one of those learning and development people that you want to get to know her. She's easily she can put the hard stuff in a simple category so people like Foster can understand it. But she's engaging, is what I'm trying to say, guys. And you want to have someone in this. A lot of companies need somebody to teach the people that are being hired into the company how we do things. How do they go about doing their particular opportunities, their jobs? But they got to learn about the company and what the company. I want to throw a company at you as I'm thinking and I'm talking about this, Andy. I didn't plan this, but there is a company called the Chief Outsiders, and I want you to go check them out. See if there is an they're a marketing guru. Oh, just I mean a think tank, and you
Kind of
know
sounds
I
exciting,
know, I
Foster.
know, and I've got and the
Wow.
CMO of that company is a good friend of mine, and
Really?
I've helped her in her job search. Oh my God, I've been doing this 25 years. So, but if you
Giving
see
everyone
something
your
there,
age.
I know a little bit about the company, and
Yeah.
so if you see something there, Andy, let's talk.
I love that. Thank you,
Love it.
Foster.
This is why we
This is why.
network.
That's why we network. That's right. That's right.
All right.
So
So,
go ahead. Go
okay.
ahead. I'm sorry, Dana. Go ahead.
Don't be no. I just was curious if so it's not I mean, Andy, obviously any industry you'd be able to be extremely transitional
Yeah.
with your skill sets, but are there particular industries you feel are your wheelhouse or your preference? Are you industry agnostic? What are your thoughts on
So
that?
I feel like education's my wheelhouse. I'm a former school teacher,
Okay.
so I taught kinder,
Got it.
second, third grade, was in education for 10 years. So that's going to obviously be very natural for me. And most recently was in that ed tech space for 2 years as a trainer. So that's obviously my first love, but I'm definitely open to other industries. Like I said, I think healthcare is one of those spaces that I would thrive in
Oh
as
yeah.
well. But I like you said, agnostic to the industry. So I think that's definitely something that I can be open to for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
Andy, I'm glad you said that because it made me think of
Yes.
McKesson. And yeah,
That's a good
and you
point.
may have already checked McKesson out. McKesson used to be one of my
I have.
clients, and I like McKesson. And a lot of people that work in McKesson have a thumbs up about working for
They're
McKesson.
another one.
You know, times are different. And guys, I'm glad we went through this interview thing because hey, y'all need to be interviewing these companies. You need to come up with
Yeah.
poignant, very very targeted questions to ask companies. You want to see what you're getting yourself into in this day and time.
Absolutely, Foster. I
And
can't
then
agree with you enough there.
Christus Health, and I think Dana, you have some connections. I have plenty of connections at Christus, but
I'm not with
not with
Christus.
Christus.
I
Okay,
don't with Christus, no.
Dana, tell Andy about. See, Dana comes from healthcare. She is
I
a
do.
wonderful healthcare recruiter. Tell her a little bit about Caris Life Sciences.
Yeah, one thing I love about Caris, their focus is, and if y'all can hear anything in the background, I apologize. Our alarms are out of the blue are going off. Oh, praise the Lord, they just stopped.
Yeah, they just stopped.
Man, that's so loud and frustrating. So what I loved about, I was with Caris Life Sciences for 10 years. What I truly loved about Caris was their focus in the oncology space. So I would not be surprised if they are building on their learning and development programs within the organization. They basically perform, among many things, molecular profiling as kind of the meat and potato of their services, which means when a individual has cancer, and they're visiting their oncologist will take both blood and tissue sample and send that to our lab in Phoenix, Arizona, and we will run what we call molecular profiling testing using numerous technologies and a robust database of clinical outcomes to determine scientifically the best way to treat each individual patient and their individual type of cancer, because the way a cancer behaves in your body can behave differently in another body. You might have a lung cancer in the breast, and so you don't want to just assume because the location is in the breast it's going to behave like breast cancer. So we look at that patient's RNA, DNA, protein, their full molecular makeup, and we utilize basically tons and tons of data to scientifically determine the best and neutral and worst ways to treat the patient, so that the oncologist knows here are the best options to get the best results. These options didn't really show positive or negative anyway. These results showed negative. Do not put them on these type of medicines. And sometimes you might need more than one medicine, which is called companion diagnostics. And that is my story.
Real quick,
Good
guys.
story. Dana was with that company for a long time, and I got a chance
I
to know
loved
that
it.
company
Caris is
because she
great.
was there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know
Yeah.
I am about relationships. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Thanks,
they're
Dana.
amazing
They
organization, and
really
I'm
are.
with Beacon Oral Specialists now, which we focus on
Once again.
the oral surgery space, and we have an amazing learning and development professional that has been building out programs to help train all of our leaders, numerous programs, but one big focus and push is leadership-based training throughout the organization, because we have leaders at our practices that we acquire that, may not have had the opportunity to truly be mentored and given those tools as they worked in the
Hey,
practice.
Dana, real quick. Jay,
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce your last name. I'm not gonna try, but he said, I hope. Andrea, I'm so glad you're here. You helped everyone in North Dallas CFG with Zoom background. So I just want to make sure you got that
That's
compliment. Yes. So
wonderful.
happy.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Andrea, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Of course, Andrea wouldn't be on the show if she wasn't amazing, and she
Oh, that's
is. And
true.
Foster knows her,
Yeah.
and we firmly endorse her. I mean, Andrea, just from speaking with you from this short period of time, I can tell you would be an asset, honestly, to any organization. And it's exciting to hear about your passion for education.
Yes. I truly
Guys, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. I'll shut
Oh
up.
no, it's okay. Like I loved being a classroom teacher and I miss that. There's reasons why, we all know why education is a little bit of a hot mess right now.
It is,
I
yeah.
miss the kids and I miss those relationships for sure. But I
Uh-huh.
really feel that being in the training space is still letting me be an educator, if you will, still training, even if it's adults,
Right.
and scratch that itch,
Yes.
because I think really what it's about is just giving people knowledge. And that's truly what my heart's
So
about,
true.
is just as helping others.
Yeah.
And that's never going to
Yeah.
escape, what my internal core is. So I
Right.
really believe I can be an asset to a company and just bring that empathy that I have in building trust, really with any and every interaction that I have. So I'm excited.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The nerdy part of Foster, which you guys experience quite a bit on this show,
I
is
love Foster.
the nerdy logical part. It because I was raised, my both of my parents were educators, and
Yeah.
you guys would be surprised uh, the functionality of that and how it is applied in corporate America. Now that makes sense. In corporate America, you guys want to hire a person like Andy that has a passion and
Yeah.
a personality to handle that kind of thing.
Oh,
Because
100%.
doesn't it make sense that a teacher, a previous
Yeah.
teacher, would move into that corporate space
Oh,
to
yeah.
do pretty much the same thing? Only
Amazing.
we have some departments, and like what Dana was talking about,
Very true.
he explained what Andy would be faced with at Caris Life Sciences. I think
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. I think it's logical to hire a teacher to be your learning and development. Come on now.
100% for sure. But also Andy's ability to articulate her level of
Yeah.
professionalism and warm personality, because when you're relating and when you're teaching and you're rolling out materials to professionals at all levels, you do to a certain extent have to command respect, right?
Mhm.
Or they're not going to take it seriously. And the
Yeah.
organization is investing in learning and development because they have certain goals that they want this training and this learning and this development for their employees to impact, right? And so, and I should kind of stop here and allow Andy to kind of dig into that a little bit further, because while I understand the function, it is a part of our HR team. I am not the expert.
Right. That's right.
I
That's
do
right.
think
And Andy's the tall chick. She's authoritative looking.
There we go.
I do think that, impactful training is so valuable. And that's what my goal
Mhm.
is, right? In every session, you want to be impactful. You want them to leave being able to implement whatever it is that you just trained them on. Like I was a teacher
Right.
and I sat on the receiving end of that. So in professional development, it was the worst whenever you left there going, that was just a waste of 3 hours of my day. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
never wanted
Yeah.
to be that trainer who just was a sit and get.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's really a
I get
goal
it.
that, I have is, do they leave feeling empowered to turn around, maybe it's one thing that they feel confident leaving, doing, because we all know our training, our attention span is not that much, right? These days.
Oh my God. And
Um,
Nope.
it's decreasing by the
with
day.
all the social media.
Yeah, they say oh gosh, you're absolutely Andy, what are the statistics on that with the social
I
media?
don't know offhand what they are, but I would imagine they're, very small.
Pretty bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
and
there
so
with ya.
I do know that we have to be so cognizant, and very, um, just make sure that we're training on what we want them to walk away with learning and not overload them, right? So, um,
Right.
I did have the opportunity to train nearly 3,000 educators in my, 2+
Really?
years that I was in that ed tech
Oh,
space. And so I feel
wow.
like being in that,
Yeah.
I impacted teachers, right? Which in turn is going to impact students. And I
Mhm.
consistently earned a 95% satisfaction rate in my post-training surveys. So I
Oh,
feel like, at the end of the day, I did my job and I did it effectively by giving them what they
right.
needed,
That's awesome.
right? And empowered
Yeah.
them. So, but with all that being said, data is not the only thing that drives me. I think you've kind of heard me say it's more than just numbers, it's relationships. And so
Mhm.
There you
Yeah.
that's
go.
Very
truly
much.
my passion is building those lasting
Mhm.
relationships, those aha moments. So
Yeah.
that's really my heart. Um, so yeah, I'm just excited.
Andy, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to qualify
Yeah.
myself. Are you open to contractual programs and projects that companies have going on?
Absolutely, Foster. Yes.
Okay. And the reason I ask that, guys, is because my ex-fiance, who's probably watching the show, hey, Dr. Jane, uh, was hired into companies at a good, actually a quite alarming amount of
Yeah.
money to go into contractually and go into companies and help them understand, help
Yeah.
them teach their clients what's going on and why
Mhm.
you should use this particular company, or
Yeah.
teach the people that are inside the company how we do it,
Yes.
honestly.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of application for what Andy does, and I brought her on this show because if you guys ever take the time to talk with Andy, you'll understand why I brought her on the show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
another thing, Andy, you are not you're not looking to relocate right now, are you?
No, sir. Not
Yeah.
relocate right now.
No problem. Yeah.
Greenville's a pretty cool place. It just rains a lot. So but
Yeah.
but what Andy does, obviously, with our technology, can be done remotely. So something you guys
Yep.
want to talk. I bring people on this show that are looking for jobs, so you guys get an opportunity to get a chance to see them project themselves and their personalities,
Love
and you can give
it.
them a call and talk to them, guys. See if there's a
Yeah.
fit for some of the needs that you might have. There have been a couple of people on this show
Absolutely.
that actually got a job in areas that they weren't even planning on it being. The company just heard them talking about a certain thing and wanted to apply a certain new idea, and it worked.
Yeah,
So
Oh, that's
that is
so
the
awesome.
biggest
awesome.
thing you guys can do in your job search is to get out from behind the computer and get out and
Mhm.
meet
Ugh,
people. That
there's
is the
no
biggest
way
thing you
to
can do.
say
Yeah,
it more.
it
I
really is.
know, Foster. It's so important. It really is to be proactive. Don't give up. The market is improving day after day. I've noticed like there are a lot of jobs out there. It's just taking initiative, taking the initiative and following through with the job search. It's a numbers game, and it's also who you know. And continuing to network, continuing to go to events, continuing to get your name out there. You're building a lot of great relationships for the future without even realizing it during this time.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. I've met so many wonderful people in this
Yeah.
networking and Foster. I mean,
Yeah.
I can go, the list goes on. It's been
Mm.
incredible.
We
We
love
love him.
Foster. He's a little crazy some days, but we love him. No,
I'm a
I'm
little
kidding,
crazy
Foster.
all the time.
Me too.
Dana and I have been friends a long time. Guys, I
Oh,
met
heck
Dana
yeah.
years ago in this network. We were at
Yeah.
Jobs. What do they call it, Dana?
I think it's called like Careers
Careers
in
in Motion.
Motion.
Met
Yeah, out
Dana there,
at
talked
Watermark
Dana.
Church.
I saw her
Mhm.
passion, the very thing that we're talking about right now with Andy. I saw Dana's passion for helping folks, and I wanted to
Oh.
get to know Dana. I said, Dana, hey, I'm building a whole big old network out here, and I want you involved. And Dana loved it, and
Oh.
she was good
I
for
was
it.
so honored.
Dana helped me build this network, you guys, and
Well,
here she
I
is right
wish
here on this show with us. So there.
I'm honored to be on the show, honestly. And it's a God thing. You know, God puts
Yes.
people together. And I was
Yes.
so grateful to meet Foster and found a way to be able to give back. Because let's face it, when you're in talent acquisition, you have the privilege of seeing processes and different scenarios play out, and you get a deeper understanding of resumes, interview, and you get a whole nother perspective. Why wouldn't I want to give back to the community? And then Foster just willingness to leave corporate America and follow God's calling to do it full time. And we're just thankful for your service, Foster. I just want you to know that.
Well, thank you very much. This is so fun because I get to meet all these smart people. And if I hang out with them, you guys will think that I'm smart because I'm hanging out with these smart people like Andy. And
Oh,
so,
you're so cute.
Andy, what's the best way for us to contact you?
So my information's been dropped, I believe, in chat through LinkedIn. My number is there, my
Good.
email. So please reach out. I would love to connect with you guys.
And Polly Edwards is well, she was on the show too. You talking about a tremendous person. But you guys please connect with each other. If you guys get a chance at some point, and you will,
Yeah.
you guys connect and have a conversation. Polly is sharp as a hypodermic needle.
Well, dang, dude, that's
Love me
pretty
some Polly.
impressive.
And Polly's out west. So
We love
Polly, I
Polly.
mentioned about the LA County Fair that's coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Polly's great. I
yeah,
was just joking earlier. And, you know, Foster, one thing I'd like to call out is how grateful I am that we have so many wonderful listeners
yeah, we do.
and so many different individuals that even though they might have found their way back to their dream job, they still listen. How great is that?
That's right. And we're still here, guys. We're not going anywhere. We're silly, but we'll teach you guys some things, hopefully, that will help.
That's
you
right, Foster.
We'll see you guys next Friday. You hear the music, I'm going to start dancing. Y'all don't want to see that.
You guys so much.
Thanks, Andi.
Thank you. I've loved being with y'all.
Thanks, Andi. You're amazing.
Thank you, Foster.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change